let us talk about the concept of availability and irreversibility. See, this is also a very important concept which you need to understand here. See, availability or available energy or exergy all are same. See, this availability is nothing but the maximum possible work obtainable when a system interacts in equilibrium with the surrounding environment. So when a system is interacting in equilibrium with the surrounding environment, the maximum possible work obtainable, we call it as the availability or available energy or exergy. So to understand this concept of availability or available energy or exergy, let us consider there is a reversible engine. So we are talking about a reversible engine which is operating between two thermal reservoirs which are at temperatures T1 and T2. Now Q1 is the amount of heat supplied to this reservoir, this engine, and Q2 is the amount of heat rejected, and usually we are going to get the work output. Now as we have considered reversible engine, then the actual efficiency will be equal to the ideal efficiency. Actual efficiency is work done by heat supplied. So this will be equal to 1 minus lower temperature by higher temperature. So this is when we have considered a reversible engine. Work done will be equal to Q1 into 1 minus T2 by T1. This is the formula for work done that we have obtained from here. Now, in order to get the maximum possible work done, there will be two possibilities. In order to increase this work, we have to either increase the higher temperature of the thermal reservoir here, or we need to reduce T2 temperature. Either we have to increase T1 temperature or reduce T2 temperature in order to get the maximum possible work output. See, increasing T1 temperature will result in more amount of heat addition. Q1 also varies with respect to the heat addition that we are giving. Okay, now if T1 increases, Q1 is increasing, and if Q1 is increasing, there will be obviously variation in the work done. But our intention is, without any additional heat, we need to get maximum possible work output with the same amount of heat supplied Q1. So this will be possible only when we reduce T2 temperature. See, the maximum possible extent up to which we can reduce this T2 temperature is nothing but the surrounding environment temperature. So that means instead of reaching this T2 temperature, the system should come in interaction with the surrounding environment, which is at temperature T0. In that case, we are going to get maximum possible work output. So maximum possible work output will be obtained with the same amount of heat supplied when the system comes in interaction with the surrounding environment. That means we are considering the lower temperature nothing but the surrounding environment temperature. In this particular case, we are going to get the maximum possible work output. So this maximum possible work output, we call it as available energy or availability or exergy. Now we can write this expression as Q1 minus T0 into Q1 by T1. Now Here this W max is called the available energy or availability or exergy. This available energy is nothing but the heat supplied minus unavailable energy, or if we write in this form, availability is equal to the amount of heat supplied minus unavailable energy is because of the irreversibilities. So you can write the maximum possible work output as available energy or availability, which will be equal to the amount of heat supplied minus unavailable energy or heat supplied minus irreversibility. Now how do we obtain this irreversibility? So this irreversibility I will be equal to the surrounding environment temperature multiplied by the change in entropy of the universe. See, I equal to T naught into delta S of the universe. So why we are calling this as delta S of the universe? The reason here is, see, this system which is there is coming in interaction with the surrounding environment which is at temperature T naught. See, the maximum possible extent up to which we can reduce this T2 temperature is up to the surrounding temperature. So this surrounding temperature we call it as T naught here. Now irreversibility is T naught into delta S of the universe. See here, this is the system and system is coming in interaction with the surrounding environment. Then the change in entropy that we have to consider is delta S of the universe. See, while we are discussing the concept of entropy, we have told that if change in entropy of the universe is more, then irreversibilities will be more, and if change in entropy is increasing, then there will be minimum possibility for conversion into work. So that means if irreversibilities are increasing, irreversibilities increases because of delta S of the universe is increasing. If delta S of universe is increasing, irreversibility increases. If irreversibility is increasing, availability will decrease. So that means the change in entropy of the universe is the major cause for the amount of maximum possible work that is obtainable when a system is coming in interaction with the surrounding environment. So with the increase in the change in entropy of the universe, there will be increase in the irreversibilities. Because of increase in the irreversibilities, there will be decrease in the availability or available energy or maximum possible work done. So that's why when we have discussed about the concept of entropy, if the entropy increases, then there will be minimum availability for conversion into work. If entropy decreases, then there will be maximum availability for conversion into work. So that is what we have learnt while we have discussed about the entropy. So irreversibility here is T naught into delta S of the universe. We have already learnt that delta S of the universe concept previously. So based on the given question, first you need to calculate delta S of the universe. If you multiply that with the surrounding environment temperature, you can easily determine the irreversibility. Then availability can be obtained if we subtract this irreversibility from the amount of heat added. So try to remember this particular concept. Now let us learn about loss in availability. What is this loss in availability? So this is also one more important concept that you need to understand here carefully. So let me consider there is an object A which is at temperature T1, and surroundings are at temperature T0. Now, if T1 is greater than T0, then obviously heat transfer takes place from T1 to T0. Then availability in the first case, let us say it is A1, availability here will be equal to Q into 1 minus T0 by T1. So this is the formula for availability in this particular case. Now suppose instead of this T1, let us say I am supplying heat from another reservoir which is at temperature T2, let us say that reservoir is B. So I am supplying same amount of heat from reservoir B which is at temperature T2, and this T2 temperature is less than T1 temperature. Then what is going to happen here is the availability in the second case, if we take it as A2, then this will be Q into 1 minus T0 by T2. Now here you can easily understand that as T2 temperature is less than T1 temperature, you can understand that availability A1 will be more than A2. As T1 is greater than T2, availability A1 will be greater than A2. Then from here you can easily write that loss in availability because of supplying heat from a lower temperature will be availability A1 minus A2. So you can write this as Q into 1 minus T0 by T1 minus Q into 1 minus T0 by T2. Now if we write this like this, loss in availability is equal to Q minus Q T0 by T1 minus Q plus Q into T0 by T2. Minus Q plus Q gets cancelled. You can write this as Q T0 into 1 by T2 minus 1 by T1. So this is the formula for loss in availability here. So this is the formula for loss in availability. Now you can easily understand from this particular point clearly that if heat is supplied from a higher temperature reservoir, then there is a maximum possibility for conversion into work. Whereas if heat is supplied from a reservoir which is at lower temperature, then there will be minimum possibility for conversion into work. The meaning is here T1 is greater than T2. When we have supplied heat from T1 to the surrounding environment, we are getting more availability. That means more amount of work output, which is a desired quantity. When we are supplying heat from a low temperature reservoir to the surrounding environment, then the availability is getting reduced. That means why it is happening? When heat is supplied from a higher temperature T1, then irreversibility is reducing, because of that availability is increasing. So irreversibility is decreasing because change in entropy of the universe is decreasing when we have supplied heat from a higher temperature reservoir T1. So when we have supplied heat from a lower temperature reservoir, then irreversibilities are increasing because change in entropy of the universe is increasing. As a result of that, availability is decreasing. Availability of a closed system, just try to understand carefully. Now let me consider that there is a system like this, which is initially at pressure P1, volume V1, temperature T1 and internal energy U1, entropy S1. Okay, now I am supplying heat from the surroundings which are at temperature T0. So the surroundings are at temperature T0 and I am supplying Q amount of heat such that this system changes its properties and reaches a dead state. So what do you mean by this dead state? So when a system comes in equilibrium with the surroundings, which means that the availability of the system is zero, we call it as dead state. So here this system is coming in interaction with the surrounding environment and reaching in equilibrium state with the surroundings. So that means the surrounding pressure is P0, temperature is T0, then internal energy U0, entropy S0 and volume V0. Now this system is receiving heat from the surrounding environment which is at temperature T0 and reaching a dead state. So that means it is coming in equilibrium with the surrounding environment. Now here what is happening is, if we apply first law of thermodynamics here, dou Q is equal to du plus dou W. So from this we can write dou W is equal to dou Q minus du. Now here dou Q can be written as T0 into S0 minus S1. The reason why we are writing here dou Q as T0 into S1 minus S0 here is, see, heat transfer is taking place from the surroundings to the system and system is reaching from condition 1 to condition 0, which is nothing but the dead state. So during this process the temperature is coming to equilibrium and that equilibrium temperature is nothing but T0 temperature. So the system is coming into equilibrium state with the surroundings which is at temperature T0 and there is entropy variation during this process, that is S0 minus S1. So this is the variation in the entropy. So as this is coming in equilibrium, we have considered temperature as T0 and pressure as P0 we need to consider because of equilibrium state. Then internal energy is U0 minus U1. So this is what you have got here. Now we can write this same expression as U1 minus T0 S1 minus U0 minus T0 S0. You can write like this. By small interchanging, you can write this expression like this. So this is the formula for work done during the process when the system is reaching from the condition 1 to the dead state. That means it is coming into equilibrium with the surrounding environment. So in this case the formula for work done that we have got here is this one. Now here when we are supplying heat from the surrounding environment, then obviously there will be a variation in the volume because of heat addition for this particular system. So because of this volume variation, there might be certain displacement work happening. So that displacement work will be equal to P0 into V0 minus V1. So volume is changing from V1 to V0 here, and this volume is varying from V1 to V0 because of heat addition. There will be some displacement of the boundaries of this system. So that's why that displacement work done is taken as P0 into V0 minus V1. See, there might be a question that will be arising, that is why we have considered T0 here and why we have considered P0 here. What happened to P1 and T1? See, the system is coming in equilibrium with the surroundings and is reaching a dead state. So that's why as it is coming in equilibrium, we are considering that equilibrium temperature and pressure for solving this particular condition. Okay, now we have got work done from the first law of thermodynamics, and at the same time we have got the displacement work done. Now we need to understand what is the maximum possible work output. So the maximum possible work output can be obtained when we have subtracted the displacement work from the work that is obtained from the first law of thermodynamics. So dou W minus, so dou W that we have got from the previous expression is U1 minus T0 S1 minus U0 minus T0 S0. So this is dou W minus displacement work is P0 into V0 minus V1. So this is what we have got. Now we can write this equation like this. U1 plus P0 V1 minus T0 S1 minus U0 plus P0 V0 minus T0 S0. So this is the equation that we have got here. Now see, this U plus P0 V minus T0 S, we can name it as some phi, and this phi is nothing but the non-flow availability function. Non-flow availability function. So therefore the maximum useful work will be equal to phi 1 minus phi 0, you can write. So phi 1 minus phi 0 will be the maximum useful work. Here from this expression only we are going to get one more important term, that is U minus Ts. See, this U minus Ts is called F, and where this F is called the Helmholtz function. So the Helmholtz function is obtained from the second law of thermodynamics when we have applied to the closed system. So second law of thermodynamics applied to a closed system, or availability of the closed system, is giving us two equations. One is U minus Ts, which is equal to F, which is called Helmholtz function, and U minus T0 into S plus P0 into V, this is called phi, and this is the non-flow availability function. So these two equations we are getting from the availability of a closed system expression. Then let us go for the next concept, that is availability of a open system. So here also when we talk about availability of a open system, so let us consider there is a pipe like this in which certain amount of fluid is flowing. So there is certain fluid flowing inside the pipe. Now to discuss about this availability, first of all let us consider a control volume here. So this is the control volume that we have considered. Now try to understand that here the datum line or the reference line is at some distance like this. Now this is Z1 and this is Z2. Now here the pressure at point 1 is P1, volume is V1, temperature is T1, internal energy is U1, entropy is S1. At point 2 pressure is P2, volume is V2, temperature T2, internal energy U2, entropy S2, and you can consider velocity as C1 here and velocity as C2 here. Now if we have to discuss about availability of open system, we need to consider that this system or the control volume that we have considered is coming in equilibrium with the surrounding environment, which is at temperature T0. So from this surrounding environment T0, if we supply certain amount of heat Q120, that means this system is reaching a dead state. So that means if the system has to reach dead state, the meaning is that the velocity corresponding to that dead state must be 0. Then the head will be 0. Here pressure at the dead state will be P0, temperature at the dead state will be T0, and entropy at the dead state is S0. See, here we are not considering the second conditions here. See, if we have to consider availability of open system, we need to take that the system is coming in equilibrium with the surrounding environment and is reaching a dead state. So the meaning of dead state is, at the dead state there will be no kinetic energy, there will be no potential energy. The pressure will be the surrounding environment pressure and the temperature will be the surrounding ambient temperature. And entropy we have considered it as S0, internal energy as U0. And we know that here we are going to get enthalpy H is equal to U plus PV. So from this, at the initial condition enthalpy is H1 and after reaching the dead state enthalpy is H0. In this particular case, if we apply simply the steady flow energy equation here, so the steady flow energy equation will be U1 plus P1 V1 plus C1 square by 2 plus GZ1 plus the amount of heat supplied from the surrounding environment to reach the dead state. So that is Q120, heat transferred from the surrounding environment in order to reach the dead state. This will be equal to U0 plus P0 V0 plus, here there will be no kinetic energy and no potential energy corresponding to the dead state, and we will have work output, and this work output is nothing but the maximum possible work output, because the system is coming in interaction with the surrounding environment and is reaching a dead state. So this U plus PV, you can write it as H1 and you can write this as C1 square by 2 plus GZ1 plus Q120. This is equal to, this is H0 plus maximum possible work. So the maximum possible work output will be H1 minus H0 here plus C1 square by 2 plus GZ1 plus the amount of heat added. So this amount of heat added can be written like this: H1 minus H0 plus C1 square by 2 plus GZ1 plus T0 into S0 minus S1. So why we have written Q120 as T0 into S0 minus S1 is, see here this system is coming in interaction with the surrounding environment and is reaching a dead state. That means the system is coming in equilibrium with the surrounding environment temperature. So that's why we are taking the temperature as T0 here. Now from this we can write maximum possible work as H1 minus T naught S1 minus H naught minus T naught S naught plus C1 square by 2 plus GZ1. See, this is the formula for the maximum possible work output that we need to consider here. Now, this term H minus Ts, we call this as G, which is nothing but the Gibbs function. So, H minus Ts is nothing but the Gibbs function G. Try to understand this carefully. Now, here H minus T naught into S plus C square by 2 plus GZ, this is called psi, which is called the steady flow availability function. Which is called psi. This is the steady flow availability function. So we can write this W max as psi 1 minus psi naught. Here psi 1 will be H1 minus T naught S1 plus C1 square by 2 plus GZ1, and psi naught will be H naught minus T naught S naught plus C naught square by 2 plus G into Z naught, where C naught is equal to 0 and Z naught is equal to 0. So this is the steady flow availability function here, and maximum possible work is psi 1 minus psi naught here. So try to understand here carefully. See, this doesn't mean that there is no second condition. The second condition exists. At any point you can find the work output, but in order to get the maximum possible work output, what you need to understand is the system should come in interaction with the surrounding environment and should reach a dead state. Then only we are going to get the maximum possible work output. So when it is reaching the dead state, the conditions are, at the dead state there will be no potential energy and no kinetic energy, and the pressure and temperature are nothing but P0 and T0 at the dead state. That means the surrounding environment pressure and temperature.